Did you know you're sitting in front of everything you need to design, build, and launch your own spacecraft and send it to the moon? If you back this project in less than 60 days, you could join the ranks of the great pioneers and change how space exploration is done forever.
There are more than 1 million asteroids, moons, and planets in our solar system, and we have only explored a tiny fraction of them. Low-cost interplanetary missions still cost millions, so we've decided to build something that everyone can afford: the Pocket Spacecraft.
A pocket spacecraft is a spacecraft that's small enough to hold in your hand and that you can afford to design and launch into space yourself. They're incredibly thin, solar-powered, with hybrid printed electronics and instruments. We'll be using a 3U CubeSat about this size, about 2/3 of which will be the propulsion system and 1/3 of which will be the thousands of thin-film spacecraft. Using this system, we want to launch your pocket spacecraft and send it to the moon.
At home, in your mission control, you design your spacecraft on the web and authorize production. Smaller than a CD and as thin as a piece of paper, your spacecraft are loaded into a CubeSat and sent to the launch site to hitch a ride into space on a commercial rocket. Once in orbit, one of your spacecraft is released to test landing on a planet with an atmosphere, in this case, the Earth. Flying through a region too high for weather balloons and too low for satellites, it maps the wind as it flutters to Earth, where enthusiasts around the world try to find it and return it home. Meanwhile, back in space, we engage the propulsion system and fly to the moon, measuring the solar wind and attempting ballistic capture. On arrival, the lunar spacecraft is released and photographed, surveying the lunar landscape before crash landing on the moon. You and your spacecraft make history and kickstart the personal space age.
We're not just building one mission, we're building thousands of missions. Our unique Spacecraft on Demand system provides an exciting opportunity for anyone to have their own spacecraft and explore new worlds. You can personalize your spacecraft by adding a picture or customizing the message it transmits. Write software to interact with its sensors and comm systems. Even customize the hardware or try controlling its motion through space.
You'll have mission control software for your smartphone and computer, so you can always see where your spacecraft is. And at important times throughout the mission, we'll set up and link mission controls in digital cinemas around the world.
Through regular blogs, video diaries, and a serialized book, you'll be able to follow every step of the mission.
We put as much as we can in the public domain so that anybody can replicate our work.
It's not just us who've been developing this project. With more than 100 volunteers and experts in 20 countries, we've built the open source space system and co-created the first KickStarter funded spacecraft, soon to be launched by NASA. Now we've brought together a world-class team of designers, scientists and engineers to make a tightly integrated product.
We're ready to build and launch this great collaboration, but that requires substantial resources.
Once we've proved the principles that we can send this CubeSat and thousands of pocket spacecraft to the moon, we can send exactly the same hardware to Mars, to Venus, to asteroids throughout the solar system. If you back this project, you will revolutionize how space exploration and space science is done.
How cool is that? Please back the project. We can't do it without you.